Hey all, good morning and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sheikh Sultana, pursuing BTech second year in the branch of AIML Innovation Institute of Technology, Bhimbaram, and today we are here to see a just simple registration page like which is an authentication one, like how to log in or sign up to check the weather of a particular place. Like just we are designing an authentication page where you can log in. If you have account you can log in, or if you don't have any kind of account, so that you can create an account and you can log in into our page and you can check the weather of a particular place. Here I have created a folder named home where I have created new files which is index.html, home.html, login.html, screen.js, and these are the packages server and I have which I have connected in the backend, which is Firebase. So the Firebase is also getting executed, is also getting run. So here let us see what the code is here. Firstly, I'm explaining about the index.html, where this HTML file provides a user-friendly sign-up registration page with a cloud-animated background and a form for user registration. It also includes JavaScript for handling form submissions. The doctype HTML declaration defines this is an HTML5 document, and it also specifies that the document language is English. The head section contains meta tag, a title for sign up, and an internal CSS styling. The body section contains cloud animation, a registration form inside a div authored container. That's it for form submission to handle user registrations. And also here you can see this is the CSS which I have applied to my registration page. Have used a gradient background, light blue to white. Centers to the registration form using a display flex with justify content, center and align items are center. Overflow which is hidden prevents scroll bars, and cloud animation is floats across the screen. They uses an animation called move cloud that moves them from left to right continuously. This cloud starts off screen on the left minus 300 px, as you can see here, and moves them to the right past the screen with 100 VW plus 300 px. It creates a white card-like container with rounded corners and a shadow effect. HTML form where the div class will show you. We have taken three input fields, which is name, email, and password. A submit button, a sign up page that triggers the register function when clicked, and the JavaScript for registration fetches user input name, email ID, password when the button is clicked. It sends a pause request to or for register. Converts user data into JSON format, as we have seen JSON files here, or the package log JSON files. It converts them into the JSON package JSON files, which is email, password, and the name. Logs the response status. If registration is successful, it redirects user to the login page. If registration fails, it shows an error message. If there is an error, example like no internet connection, server issues, an alert will be shown. So finally, gradient background and animated clouds have been used in these one. And now next, going to the login page where I have logged using these details. uh, So where it declares that HTML is a 5, set up the languages, specifies the character encoding as UTF, which supports most languages, set the title of the page as login. Here you need to log in into the page, and the user Sego UF font is used, set the background as sky like gradient. The dot cloud class is used to create a floating cloud effect. It moves the cloud from left to right, and shows the login box appears above. So and the Z index ensures the login box appears above the clouds. White semi-transparent background which gives rounded corners, and this comes to the part of the CSS. And styling the input fields were full width input fields with padding for formats. And the transition border color with 0.3 is makes the border smoothly change color when focused, and when an input field is clicked it gets a blue glow effect. Smooth hover and click effect, slide scaling on hover transform scale 1.03 makes the button pop, and a JavaScript handling to get the input values retrieves the entered email and password, where you can see it last like a login password, email, and etc. Sends a post request to login with the email and password in the JSON format. If login is successful, you can redirect to the home page, home.html, where it fails and a message is displayed. Now letters. I hope you guys have got a clear cut clarity about how to get login, or if you have if you don't have an account, how to create your account. If you already have an account, you can log in through this. You can log in into this. And home.html, which clearly shows this is a simple weather app that allows user to input a city name, retrieves weather data from an API and displays the result. It also includes a logout button to redirect the user back to the login page. The page is styled with CSS animations for a sky background with the moving clouds. The HTML provides the layouts of weather app, declares the document and sets the language to English and specifies the characters encoding and ensures the page is responsive on different screen sizes. The main content of the page is within the body tag. Here you can see within the body tag the main content I have hidden, and it uses a sky gradient background, as you all know, as in these by entering the city name, whatever the city, which is either Hyderabad or Bangalore or some kind of Singarakonda, Bhimavaram, etc. You can enter any kind of city name and you can get the exact details of the weather at a time within seconds. They have a semi-transparent look, and also here, like as we have discussed, the file format will be appeared in the form of JSON, and also this is a script, so this is a server where which is always in active mode, active path, and this is all my details, all my API and the Firebase details. Now coming to the script Node.js, which is the backend server, which is always in the connected mode, which is always in active, which is always running. This JavaScript code is responsible for handling authentications like login, logout, and registration using Firebase authentication, as well as making authenticated requests to fetch weather data. It imports Firebase SDK modules for authentication, initializes the app using the given configuration. It creates authentication instances, and also configuration for Firebase is stored in environment variable to keep them secure. Ensures that the script runs only after the page is fully loaded, and it retrieves the Firebase authentication token for the logged in user. If the user is logged in, it returns their ID token, otherwise it will return null. So this also ensures authenticated user can access certain resources, runs only on the home page, and it also checks if the user is authenticated. If no valid token is found, it redirects the user to the login page, or rather than showing any kind of information, it listens for a button click to fetch weather data. Calls the fetch data function to send an authenticated request to a server, and also displays the weather data in the weather data div. Locks out the user and redirects them to the login page. It also handles smoother registration issues, displays success or error messages accordingly. And if handles user logins, if successful, stores the authentication token in local storage and redirects to the home page. Finally, the Firebase initializes authentication services, retrieves the user ID token for secure request, implements login, logout, and registration functionalities. Um, it redirects unauthenticated user away from the home, displays weather data on the home page, provides interactive forms for login and registration. This ensures a secure, user-friendly authentication and weather fetching system using Firebase authentication and APIs.
Here I have already executed this. I have followed the link. So after clicking on this, you will redirect to this page, create account, where I have already created my account. I will directly log into my page by entering my email and my password. Here I have entered my email and I have entered my password. By clicking on login, it will show that my login was successful. On the top on the top you can see that my login was successful. By clicking on OK, I will redirect to the weather page where I can enter the city details. Here I am entering a city which is Amlapuram, where I have entered, and by clicking on get weather I can get the complete weather details of that particular place, where what is the weather in that particular place, or how much weather is there in that particular place. So also even I can log out from this page, or I can check the weather of any other places also. So I have log out from this page again. I can see the login page, and all these details, all the login details have been will be appear in the Firebase authentication. Here you can see all my details have been stored here.